Michael, for starters, just wanted to ask about Jamal's calf injury. Is there any update on his status for tonight? And then was there a specific play in the last game where he kind of hurt the calf, or is it something that's been nagging him throughout this series a little bit?
One movement, there we go. One movement that kind of worsened the calf.
Everything that he's been through this season, obviously you've talked a few times about just how much better you guys are from a win-loss standpoint with him, and obviously he's a tough customer too and prefers to play in these kinds of games if he's close to 100%. What's kind of the balance that the coaching staff and medical staff training has to look at in terms of wanting and needing him to play versus wanting to understand that with everything he's been through, is there a chance that something could compound into something worse or recurring eventually?
Well, it just comes down to being responsible. Are we a better team with Jamal Murray? Of course we are. Does he give us a better chance to win? Of course he does. He's one of the better playoff players that I've ever been around. But sometimes I have to be the adult in the room and take away, if need be, be the voice of reason and take a bigger picture approach. And that's really hard when you have these types of situations. So we'll see how he feels when he goes through his pregame routine. And as I always tell you guys, it's not if he can play. And anybody can go out there and play. But can Jamal Murray go out there and play effectively and help this team win? And if he's able to do that, and we're not risking further injury, then hopefully he can go out there and give it a go. If not, we rely on everybody else to step up and do their job.
Coach, having time to go back and watch the film of Game 4, what were one or two of the takeaways that you'd maybe like to see improved for tonight's game?
Urgency, physicality. They played like a very desperate team, and we played like a team that was up 3-0. And I think it was really evident, like the film doesn't lie. We showed film today, and it'd be nice to win the first quarter. We haven't done that in this series, and we built a 12-point deficit, a 20-point deficit, a 12-point deficit, and a 19-point deficit in the first 4 games. That is not what you want in the postseason, playing from behind every night. So on top of the physicality and the urgency, let's get off to a better start. Let's try to win the first quarter and make them have to play from behind. And that'll be a nice change.
Coach, to your point about getting off to better starts, a lot of that has come from just the wide open shooting and you guys generating great 3-point shots and them just not going down in the first 4 games. Just what's it going to take for that to change? Is it the execution? Is just guys being more locked in on those possessions?
What's got to change is they got to go in. Simply stated, make or miss league. But you're right. We chart everything, and they're double teaming Nikola every possession. When Jamal is out there without Nikola, they're blitzing him almost every possession. And the quality looks that we're getting, you can't ask for better shots. So I think it comes down to, you want your guys to stay aggressive, but if you're struggling to make shots, it's okay to drive the basketball, get to the rim, get a layup, get to the foul line, and see the ball go through. So I think sometimes we have a tendency to rely on settling for threes when go to the basket and be a little bit more aggressive at times.
After Game 4, you mentioned the Lakers' points in the paint as something that needs to be cleaned up on your guys' end. They scored 72 in Game 4, 70 in Game 3. Is there something you noticed when looking back at the film, how they've been able to just generate more of those looks within a few feet of the basket?
Yeah, there's plenty of examples to look at. That's an area that was number one concern going into this series, that in transition. And, the 2 games at home, we were pretty good. I think 54 Game 1, 38 Game 2, which is an amazing number against that team. But then to give up 70 and 72 is problematic. It always starts in transition. But the biggest problem is part of the reason we're getting off to such slow starts, they're averaging 58 a night in their paint. 20 of those are coming in the first quarter alone. And so what does that mean? We don't take care of it, fuels that break, and then when it's in the half court, we're doing a poor job of guarding, containing one-on-one, and we're not shrinking. We got a lot of guys that are hugged up, worried about their guy, instead of having a shrink-the-floor mentality and making that paint look crowded. And I think AD leads the playoffs right now, 22 paint points per game. Bron is third at 17. And obviously, it's not just on Nicola, it's not just on Aaron Gordon, it's on all 5 guys out there to try to guard 2 great players.
What can you tell us about Jamal that we wouldn't know by looking at the stat sheet?
That he, like he came up to me after Game 4, flying home, and like he hasn't shot the ball well, and for what we've come to expect from Jamal Murray in the playoffs, I think he's putting a lot of it on him and not making shots. And I said we all share in the wins and we all share in the losses. So I think it's important for people to know that how competitive he is. And he made that shot in Game 2 that was going to go down as one of the greatest shots in Denver Nuggets history. But he wants to do well for this team. He doesn't want to let his teammates down. And he wears that, and I really appreciate and respect that about Jamal. He wants to be there for his teammates and step up like he has done countless times before.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks, everybody.